Line's good.
Never on!
Whoa.
Hard! Hard, please.
Come on, Brent. Line's good. Got real close. The hair high, right? Try and hit 2/3.
Have they saved it for her? Yes, they have.
Ooh, welcome to Game of Stones, everybody. I am Sean Graham. Scott, alongside, as always. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Sean.
There you go.
Whoa, that was a hard cut to the music. I was expecting to fade out a bit.
Yeah, I got to change the fade on this. In post, see, everyone who hears this will hear the fade, but Scott did not hear the fade.
I was jarred. Yeah, how's it going? I thought I'd crack open an ice cold seltzer here.
What flavor you got? It's green.
Lime.
Ooh. Is that new?
No, it's just in the pack that you can get at Costco, and not everybody in my house likes to drink that one. So I drink the less popular flavors.
Okay, so sorry, I thought you were getting one of the Dominion City ones.
No, it's I think a Canadian singer is a sponsor of
course,
this
yes.
kind. Yes,
Of course. So there you go. A little lime. Scott, how's your past few weeks been?
Oh, not too bad, Sean. Not too bad. It's been kind of fun here. We got some furniture for up on the deck.
There you go.
So I've been sitting outside a little more, reading.
Nice.
Been listening to some new music. Have you heard the new Olivia Rodrigo album? Quite good. Quite good.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, new Phoebe Bridgers dropped last week. Anyway, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, summertime. How about you?
So I've been to Europe and back since we last talked.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Got there and it was really hot, and then it got nice for the middle of the week, and then it got hot for the second weekend. And overall, though, it was pretty good. I gotta say, real first world problem here. I got upgraded, in air quotes, on the way back from a bulkhead aisle seat to a premium economy middle seat, which I do not consider an upgrade. And by the time I got to the counter to say to the person, can I keep the seat that I have, they'd given away my selected seat, and it was either middle in premium economy or middle at the absolute back of the plane. So I took it, but I was not thrilled. And during the taxi to take off, the person on my left and the person on my right were both leaning in on me and asleep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
On a daytime flight from Europe to Canada, both were asleep.
Correct. Before takeoff,
leaning in on you.
Correct. Yeah. The flight attendant kind of gave me a knowing look and kind of like a Jim from The Office look, like at the camera of like, Yeah.
Here, and like you can't even accept those bottles of booze that they could give you, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh boy.
So anyway, but very much a first world problem. But otherwise,
that was an automatic upgrade of like you didn't have to bid or anything, or
correct. Monday morning flight, Paris to Montreal. And I did look, just out of curiosity, the standby list, right? They needed people for standby, and the premium economy wasn't sold out, and not enough people bid. So,
all right.
That's happened to me before. That's the second time it's happened to me where I've had bulkhead aisle and they've put me in premium economy middle, and both times the experience was worse.
Yeah, fair enough. Did I tell you when I was in Fredericton, I got upgraded on the way home?
Okay.
Because a bunch of cancellations had piled up throughout the day, and I think it was 6:00 I was leaving. And it was a Rouge, and I got upgraded into Premium Rouge.
There you go.
First seat 1C. So
Nice.
all the people that I was traveling with that were also on the flight watched as I boarded before them, and then they walked by me and said, "Oh, nice seat, man." I said, "Yeah, there you go.
I did it." Yeah. So that's what's been going on. That's why we haven't had a show in a couple of weeks, but things have been going on here, Scott, in the world of curling. So I want to do a bit of a wrap up about what's been going on here recently. in the sport. And where do you want to start? We got a few things here. What?
Well, Sean, let's start with the one that prompted a text from Rocks Across the Pond.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan from Rocks Across the Pond, he sent us a text into the chat we have with those guys, and I can't do it, John. I can't do a good Jim Ross. I wish I could. By God, it's Eve Muirhead, Scott. She's coming back after her gold medal in 2022. She retired. She seemed to be loving life and having a good time. She was the chef de mission for Team GB at the 2026 Olympic Games. And she said that kind of sparked it a little bit for her. So she's coming out of retirement to play mixed doubles with Bobby Lammy. They, of course, won the 2022 World Championship in mixed doubles. So I think, Scott, what I find most interesting about this, not is that Eve Muirhead is coming back. I think that's a wonderful development. For me, I think the question is, like, 2028, she's skipping a team, right?
I got to assume.
Yeah.
I saw somebody posted. So Eve Muirhead released a book, right? In 2020. This is good podcasting. 2025 was published.
Okay.
The autobiography of Eve Muirhead called Ice Queen.
There you go. 35 years old. Here's my autobiography. I mean, she's done a lot. I mean, she's done a lot. Multiple time Olympic medalist, world played in the world. Like she did a lot in her first 35 years. So I guess,
I got to tell you, this cover is like really good. It's sort of half of her face, and her like very pale blue eye staring at the reader. Like Ice Queen is a good way to describe it. It's like a dark-haired Elsa. Who is literally the Ice Queen, right?
Exactly.
But anyway, in that book, I saw an excerpt clipped online that said, "I definitely won't be coming back to curling." So, I guess we all write things that maybe end up not being true. And
cue old takes exposed.
What? Frequently bought together. Eve Muirhead, the autobiography, and Jennifer Jones, Rockstar, My Life on and Off the Ice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Christmas coming up, eh? So yeah, I was like pretty surprised, obviously, but this would be a fun way for her to like dip her toe back in, and then I mean, it's not like the Scottish women's program is at the level that the Scottish men's program is right now.
No.
Could I see her skipping a team in 2 years? For sure. Like,
yeah.
And so this could be that little dip in the toe, like you said.
Yeah, I think it's a really good sort of way to get back into it. I mean, there's no talk here in this initial announcement of Rock League, but we'll see if that's an avenue in for her as well. We'll talk about Rock League in a second. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool to see Eve Muirhead back. It led me to something else too, Scott. This idea of, I was trying to think of curlers who quote unquote retired and then actually stayed retired. And I think Kevin Martin did it. I think Jeff Stoughton did it. To this point, Jennifer Jones has done it, but they were all with the maybe exception of Jennifer Jones past their competitive window, right? Like Glenn Howard, Kevin Martin after the 2014 trials, that was kind of it, or the 2013 trials, that was kind of it. There's a clear passing of the torch or changing of the guard there. Jeff Stoughton, same thing. Like it just was going to Briars and not being really a threat anymore. And that's kind of happened to Glenn Howard as well. And he's kind of just faded into coaching, or made the transition into coaching. Jennifer Jones, I mean, she lost the Scotties final in Scotties game.
Her last Scotties, yeah.
But again, who knows if her and Lang are still playing competitively in the mixed doubles. So she's really only retired from the 4-person game but like I can't think of anybody else who at kind of peak powers has stepped away and stayed away. Right? Jacobs went for a couple of years, came back. Kennedy went for a year or two, came back. Like Botcher went for a ham sandwich and came back. Like these guys, like they all, and now Botchers didn't say he was retiring, but
No.
like he was just going to go coach for a year and then, yeah. But like these things, Scott, like these people just don't retire, and I don't blame them for it, but it's just one of these things. It's almost a recurring point now in curling of like, oh, I'm stepping away, and then like, oh, whoops, here I am. It's like Lucy in the football. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, that's why stepping away is the phrase that's most often heard and lampooned, because that always implies that you will be stepping back.
Yes.
Right. Back into the fray as opposed to out.
Yes. So, I mean, good for Eve Muirhead. This will be fun to see her, and a fun piece of news to wake up to on a random, what is it, Thursday? Was it a Thursday morning in August? Like,
yeah.
Or July, whenever this was.
August 6th.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So Eve Muirhead is coming back. So Scott made reference there to the Grand Slams and the Rock League. There was a big announcement from the Rock League that came out last week, where CBC and Sportsnet have signed an agreement with the Grand Slam of Curling. This is a 5-year extension for Sportsnet. They were already, of course, showing the Grand Slam of Curling. But the big news coming out of this, or I'd say the headlines, Scott, is that Sportsnet at long last is going to show Tuesday and Wednesday of the Grand Slams, 3 draws a day. That is a big change. And that the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation will be showing curling that is not the Olympics on the main network regularly for the first time in a very long time. They will be showing the Saturday night playoff games from the slams through the fall. So those 5 events, they'll have those. And then for the Rock League, those games will be aired on CBC TV, CBC Gem, with select games to be available through the Radio-Canada app. And then Sportsnet will also have games on Thursdays and Fridays from the Rock League. So CBC is taking a step back into curling in a big way with Sportsnet. I think what's important to note on this is, it doesn't say this explicitly, but economically, the only way this works is it's going to be the same arrangement as like hockey was, where everything's going to be produced by Sportsnet and the CBC is going to air it. Mm-hmm. So that, I'm sure, will be the deal. Maybe a different announcer or two for those Saturday night games, but broad strokes, it's that same arrangement as we had with Hockey Night in Canada. Of course, CBC will not be showing Hockey Night in Canada anymore, so they need the replacement programming. Now, what CBC has announced is that Saturday nights are going to do athletic programming of some kind. And so 5 of these are going to be curling. And I just want to say, I saw some stuff online of people like, oh, it should be curling night in Canada. It should not. It's 5 nights. Let's calm down in terms of our comparison to the hockey. Hockey was 30 weeks in a row. It's not that. It's cool. It's great. I love my whole professional career is because of the CBC to a certain extent. I love the CBC, but it's not quite the same thing. But it's cool that the CBC will be back. I do hope they make some sort of differentiation in the broadcast when it is on CBC, whether that's the graphics or the music or something. But so that's the arrangement there. 5 more years on Sportsnet and some CBC action. Scott, what do you take away from this?
Sean, this is, I don't think there's any other way to frame this other than this is the CBC lost Hockey Night in Canada. And they're trying to put some sporting programming on opposite it. What it also means is that Sportsnet doesn't need to put curling on Sportsnet 360 on Saturdays when they've got hockey on. Yeah. So I think, I don't really view this as a coup for curling on CBC. At this point, it doesn't matter, right? are there that many people that are using the antenna to watch curling? This is, big city elite here talking, right? But like, does this really expose more people to curling? Probably not.
But compared to 360, I think it does.
Okay.
We can only go. I mean, like I listen to Deitch and train and like ABC versus ESPN. When games on ABC, that still matters, right? And so CBC versus 360, maybe it's not the same proportion as what you see in the US with network versus cable, but I think there has to be some benefit to it. And I think if you think about this, really, essentially what the trade is on those 5 Saturday nights is a hockey game is going to be on 360 and curling is going to be on CBC as opposed to the other way around. And I think it's a win-win for Rogers, right? Like Rogers is going to get a bigger audience on 360 for the NHL than they will for the curling. I mean, the curling audience is going to go up, I think, by being on CBC.
But really, like, isn't hockey just on Sportsnet, East, Ontario, West, Pacific,
and
whatever,
360,
360, one
City,
1 4K, 1 HD, City, like it's already on all those stations. Like, is it really much of an uptick? I don't think it really matters to them. It's just they're maybe going to get a few more eyeballs on curling.
Yeah.
Good enough. Sure. I'm happy that they'll have Tuesday and Wednesday evening games.
I think that's the bigger deal.
That's way the bigger deal. Yeah. Way the bigger deal. We haven't done this in a while. I don't know how to talk. A really big deal, but Sean, I think even bigger deal, which maybe you're going to get to, is that they also announced a couple days later that the Grand Slam curling and the Rock League are going to be on ESPN Plus in the States. Yeah. So the agreement to do that, I think, is a much bigger deal because it's a much wider distribution, a bigger market is going to have access to all of this curling that they didn't have before or had through VPNs or some sort of other way to stream it.
Yeah, I agree that that's a really good place for them to be. We've seen the international events, Curling Canada events on ESPN Plus. So this is a good job by the curling group to get that on there. You wonder about paywall versus when it was just the app, right? Like what is the implication of that? But if you can get a modicum of promotion on ESPN, you take it.
Oh yeah. And if you've got people who are interested in sports, they're probably subscribing already to ESPN Plus.
Yep.
So maybe they're going to the menu and saying, "Hey, what's on tonight?"
Yeah.
Oh, there's some curling on. Cool. I'll look at it. Where they're definitely not searching out curling TV, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
To watch it. So this way you're getting that kind of what do you call it? Like, I was turning the dial and found
you're casual. Yeah. You like people who are casual sports fans who might flip over. And especially in this world now with the ESPN Unlimited, that like if you have ESPN on cable, my understanding is that you get all of ESPN now. So that could potentially include this. Now, someone in the US can correct me if I'm wrong, but like that all in one package they have, like you're more likely to potentially find it. Or honestly, even if you're just on the bottom scroll, and right for 20 seconds, right? That is more than you were getting before. So I think that will hopefully help, especially, I mean, this isn't just an American thing. This happens in Canada as well. But every 4 years, people watch curling in the Olympics. Like, oh, that's cool. And then, maybe they'll go try it, but there's nowhere to find it. There's nowhere you have to seek it out. Whereas in the Olympics, it's just placed right in front of you. So I think, hopefully this helps. And so, aggressive play by the curling group and good job by them to get increased distribution. I think, Scott, this whole story, though, also prompted something in me that we don't really have curling journalists in this country, because everybody who I read about this or heard talk about it works for the curling group in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So, or is affiliated, right? The story's on Sportsnet, Jonathan Brazeau, and then you heard like Colin. I watched a thing that Colin did on it. Obviously, the players don't necessarily work for the curling group, but they are stakeholders
Yep.
in the whole thing. Like there was nobody out there that, at least I found, that was just providing like third party commentary, observation on this, because everything that was coming out was like landmark day, like biggest day and or biggest broadcast agreement in curling history. And I'm not even challenging that, but the part of me that, you know, has the training that I have and what I do, I immediately look at that with just heavy skepticism. And I'm like, well, like, is it? And who's telling me this? So it was just a reminder of, to me, that like the sort of arbiters in the space are few and far between. And I would not consider us that too, just for the record.
No, we're not journalists. I did one journalism course. That was enough. Yeah, I think you're right, Sean. Just quickly before we close this topic out, my group chat with some buddies out west. I'll clean up the language. Forget the Jays for a minute. How about Curling Night in Canada on CBC? Quote, after hours with Game of Stones podcast.
Oh yeah, Cam sent something to the Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is very funny. This is what Scott's been waiting for 20 years.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
So
Only
I think
if I can work with Scott Oak. If Scott Oak's not there, we're not going.
Our agents have some work to do, Sean.
Yeah. So big news. I mean, it's really cool that this is coming forth. The other piece of news out of all this, Rob Faulds retired over the weekend. So there will be a new play-by-play voice for curling on Sportsnet. Rob Faulds, what do you think about that? Was his home run call back when he did the Blue Jays? I think, was it? What do you think about that? Or how about that? No,
how
what do you
about
think about that? I think it was, what do you think about that? Or anyway, it was, but he did the Blue Jays for a couple of years. He's done a lot. He's done tennis, obviously the curling for a long time. A multi-talented broadcaster stepping away. Again, just in terms of though, like the journalism side, it's not Vic Rauter. I mean, Rob Faulds is great. Did a lot of things extremely well, but in terms of curling moments and like voice of curling, let's calm down. Like,
yeah, like no, what it says 51-year career. That's pretty crazy. He doesn't
look like he's 51 years old.
No, 70 years old. Oh my god,
crazy. Good on you, Faulty.
Yeah, the AI search assistant, Sean, is saying that Rob Faulds is known for his catchphrase, "What do you think about that?" during his play-by-play commentary for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Hey, all right. Got that one right.
You had that one there.
Yeah, so a happy retirement to Rob Faulds. I think the one thing that was true that came out of sort of some of the commentary around him is that is a big change. Mm-hmm. Right. And he has done that for a very long time. He has been the voice of the Grand Slams. So that will be a big change there on the Grand Slam circuit. No word yet on who the play-by-play will be for that. And I'm curious to see if it's an existing Sportsnet person or if it's a curling group person, because that would also potentially shed some light on the nature of this contract, because there are no financial terms disclosed in anything that we saw.
No, there were not.
So, if it's a curling group person, it could be an indication of sort of how the arrangement was put together. Whereas if it's a Sportsnet person, maybe that's a different sort of story.
Yeah, good point.
So we'll see. I don't know the Sportsnet roster well enough to know who I'd want it to be, other than Dan Shulman, and it's not going to be.
It won't be Dan
Shulman. So there you go. So that's the big news there. Another piece of news here out of Canada. Curling Canada announced its national team program, as a new Olympic quadrennial begins this season. 5 men's, 5 women's, and 5 mixed doubles teams were chosen to participate in the high performance program that is designed to optimize training and results through funding, guidance, and comprehensive support. So on the women's side, it will be teams Rachel Homan, Carrie Anderson, Serena Gray Withers, Taylor Reese Hansen, and the developmental team, Kayla McMillan. On the men's side, Brad Jacobs, Matt Dunstone, Tyler Tardy, Brendan Botcher, and Jordan McDonald as the developmental team. The mixed doubles teams are Jocelyn Peterman, Brett Gallant, Kadriana Lott, Colton Lott, Serena Gray Withers, Victor Petrangelo, Rachel Homan, Brendan Botcher, and Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan as the developmental team. So as you can see, there is some overlap there between the mixed doubles and the men's and women's. So I guess, double money and double guidance for those people. But there you go, Scott. Those are the 15 teams in the high performance development program.
Yeah, I think some names that are less familiar, especially on the women's side there. With the men's side, yeah, we're pretty aware of all those teams. Brendan Botcher with his new team. Yep. But Taylor Reese Hansen, Sean, I was pretty high on them at the Scotties last year. Yep. And all I heard was, what are you talking about? This team BC, they don't know any. They just didn't win on TV. They won every other game.
Yes, they did. They just got to stop. They put them on TV too much.
Stop putting them on TV. They would have won the whole thing. But yeah, good news story for them and Team Kayla McMillan. So good representation there for British Columbia. Any names stand out to you?
No, I agree that it was the women's side of Serena Gray Withers, Taylor Reese Hansen that stood out. You wonder about, I obviously with all the lineup changes, but Kayla Skrlik is someone who you might have thought could have been in there, or who's the other one from Alberta? Who?
Sturmey?
Yeah, Selena Sturmey.
Or Skrlik.
Yeah. Or and then Christina Black too would be another one who you'd think maybe, given the results that she's had over the years. But I get it. These are the decisions that are made. And then on the mixed doubles side, I don't know. I thought Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan were second or third ranked in the country at the end of last season. Does that count as developmental? I know they're both pretty young, but I feel like they could have just been in on their own. But yeah, overall, I think, I think those are pretty good choices. I don't take issue with any of them.
No. So here's a question though, Sean. So in the release, it talked about the refreshed program emphasizing centralized training, readiness, availability, a quote, professional, systemic, and data-informed environment.
Yep.
With analytics, physical testing, strength and conditioning. Does this new national team program, is this another step along the way of the curlers aren't the ones making the decisions about the teams?
It's a good question. I think we've seen over the past decade already a concentration of the players, and when teams have been reshuffled, it's really been the same pool of, in terms of the teams that are winning, the same 12 people, 12 men, 12 women, give or take. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was already happening anyway, and I think this perhaps further might exacerbate that, and it could leave those teams like Selena Sturmey, Kayla Skrlik, Christina Black, even further behind. Does this create, I feel like right now there's the upper class and then the upper middle class. And does this squeeze that upper middle class? The middle class is kind of dead already, but the upper middle class of folks who are putting in all that time, all that effort, their own money or really out there and are hustling for sponsor money, does that hurt them a little bit more? I don't know. But I do think, Scott, it's just another step in the sport's progression of the only thing that matters is the Olympics.
Yeah. And that's what is going to get the associations the money.
Correct.
And so they're obviously going to put in place the program that's going to best enable those results at the end of the 4 years.
100%.
Interesting. I mean, it's just one more step in the increased professionalization of curling.
Yeah, I mean the Briar train is not coming back, and like we have to stop pretending like, well,
yeah,
if we are pretending that, I don't know if anyone is, but again, I don't think it's necessarily even a problem. Like I don't think it's a problem to show up Scotty's Briar, and we do it every time, and we say, all right, how many teams can win, and we get to 4 or 5. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's a problem, because you can still have the celebration of the sport. Everyone from across the country is represented and have a fun time, even recognizing that like a handful of people can win. I think that's okay.
But the part of it is like they could, right? They're given the opportunity to go and do it. They could do it. Yeah. Like it's super unlikely, probably won't happen. But when Jean-Michel Menard won for Quebec, it was pretty freaking cool, right? Yeah. When PEI was in the final of the Scotties in 2010, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Christina Black was in the final of the trials. That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right? Like, yeah. And so I don't think we need to, think that everybody has to win. I don't think it needs to be what the NFL is striving to do or what baseball is apparently striving to do, to have like everybody be mediocre and then we'll have a playoffs where it's totally random and somebody's going to win. Like that also doesn't have to happen. I think having the elite teams at the top is a target for others, right? To aspire for and aim for. And so, yeah, I agree. I think the Briar's great. The Scotties are great the way they are. And we can have things on the side like this professional slam tour. We can have the Rock League as sort of parts of curling, but not, I don't want it to become all that curling is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's kind of like if I were to make an analogy to another sport, it's more like college sports where, like, say college football, 99% of the games are played between teams that don't start the year knowing they're not going to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
And that's cool. People have fun. Like,
yeah.
People still enjoy it. And like, or the NCAA basketball tournaments, men's and women's, like each, like in the women's, can 5 teams win out of the 68 that get in? 5, 6? Like, and on the men's side, maybe it's 10. Like,
and that's okay.
That's okay.
We all have fun.
It's still fun. And I feel like that's what the curling stuff is here in Canada, and that's okay. And again, if this helps those teams, not even the teams so much as the players, maintain a better balance between like curling and life, right? If that's what these things can do, I think that is also like healthy for the longevity of the sport. Like, you don't want a situation, we talked about Eve Muirhead, like the pressure that was on her. I think there was also physical, right? She had surgery and stuff and wanted to heal and rest up. But I think in her book, she had talked about some of the mental struggles that go along with being a high level athlete, especially if you're having to, as we talked about, you're trying to scramble and hustle for money and sponsorships and like all the pressure and everything that comes with that. If this is the sort of program that can alleviate that, like I want to see Rachel Holman play for another couple cycles. If this helps facilitate that, great. Yep.
No, for sure.
Yeah. All right, Scott, another thing, this happened just today. The Curling Ontario newsletter came out, and tucked away in the third to last point in the newsletter, they put here that the simplifying the game updates coming to the rules of curling. So starting this season, Curling Canada is adopting world curling rules and will no longer publish a separate Canadian rule book. Final rule updates will be shared in September following the World Curling Congress. I don't think this really has that much of an effect other than, I don't know, are they getting rid of the British U and some of the things because Bo Welland is the president of World Curling now. But I don't know. I think that's a minor little point that Curling Canada is no longer going to have its own rule book. And I do wonder, I think the point of this and why it's in the newsletter is for recreational players, that there was a Curling Canada book, that you didn't need the World Curling book. I don't know if we're at a point where there needs to be a different set of rules for rec players versus elite level players. I mean, we'll see how far it goes with like tick rules and stuff, but I think we could potentially get to that point. And so the only concern I would have, and maybe this is something we can ask somebody about at some point, is like if that becomes a point where rec players, the game is worse for rec players under WCF rules, under the elite level rules with ticks and stuff, who's going to write that rule book? Or is it up to, I mean, clubs can do whatever they want, but that's the only thing for me.
Yeah, I think, Canada was looked at as the leader of the sport, right? Canada was the first one that did a free guard zone. Kept that three rock free guard zone for longer than
everyone else.
And then sort of, finally caught up to standardize. I think even the sheets were not as wide here in Canada as they were for the World Federation stuff. So like there were some different things. Are they important? Probably not anymore. As everything is online, we can standardize a lot more than we could when it was copies of books that had to get pushed out here and there. But sad to see an official Canadian rule book go out the window, but it was inevitable.
Yeah. So just a minor thing there. So anybody across the country in Canada here looking for a rule book, you're going to the WCF now. So, and I don't know, the one thing I think we can say with great certainty is that the format will be worse because the WCF formats tend to be less user friendly.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah. All right, Scott. And just the last piece of news that I have here, a very melancholy happy trails to Don Duguid, who passed away last month. Mid-July, passed away in Winnipeg, the two-time Canadian and world champion, three-time Canadian champion, back-to-back world champion in 1970 and 1971, and then spent 30 years on the mic for CBC as a analyst on their broadcast. Also did the Olympics for NBC in 2002, 2006, and 2010. So a Canadian Curling Hall of Famer, Canadian Sports Hall of Famer, World Curling Hall of Famer, also appointed to the Order of Manitoba and the Order of Canada. A legend in the sport. A great run, 90 when he passed last month, and somebody whose voice is very familiar to a lot of people across the country.
Yeah, good to stop and reflect on that. A lot of games called for CBC there. So, melancholy, happy trails, as they say.
Yeah. So, based on the article here, a big family. So, a lot of love, familial love for Don Duguid, not to mention the love for him across the country and around the world for his role in the sport over the years. So, obviously, all the best to his family and friends, and a legend in the sport.
Amen.
All right. And Scott, that's all I have in terms of our curling news. Did I miss anything that you wanted to talk about?
The only one that I wanted to talk about, but I can't because I don't have a New York Times subscription.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Was
I have
you have it, so you can talk about it. But apparently, Sean, it's been really hot in Rome, but people are excited about curling rinks that have been set up next to the Colosseum.
Yeah, so there's a New York Times article entitled "In a Sweltering Summer, These Italians Want Romans to Curl." So yes, they set up these like plastic sheets for curling next to the Colosseum, and they put something on it, not what like not oil, but not water either, and then people are curling on it with like plastic sort of stones that they're using. So there's an article here about how it's capturing people's attention. People are really enjoying it. They're trying to capitalize on the Olympic success from February, but also noting that like it's so hot that the heat coming off of the sheets is meaning that people are only wanting to throw a few and then want to move on because the reflective heat is so much. But yeah, they're talking to the article is talking to people who are playing and really enjoying it, the people who are working and trying to get people into it, all sponsored by the federal sport governing folks there in Italy to try and get more people into it. Also interview with Joel Returnaz is in there because there are no curling clubs in Rome. The curling is largely focused on the northern part of the country, and that's where Joel Returnaz is from, for example. So, that's where the sport is most popular in Italy. But by trying to get Romans into it, right, there are arenas in Rome, and they can set up whether it's potentially an arena league or there's a push to get funds for dedicated ice in Rome. Which would be pretty cool if that could happen. So it's just, again, the growth of the sport and this effort that we're seeing in this case in Rome to capitalize on the popularity of the Olympics, the spotlight that comes with the Olympics, and not to let that fade into the background. So this is an effort there. And you can't really pick a better spot in Rome than next to the Colosseum.
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting story. So if you have a New York Times subscription, check it out. If not, I don't know, have your friend read it to you who has one. Something I found looking outside of that article itself is that is put on by the FISG, the Federazione Italiana Sport di Ghiaccio.
There you go.
Italy's Ice Sports Federation. And the president of that federation has said, the goal for this is to use low stakes, no cost, no ice, no cost installation to build public appetite for curling before committing to the expense of putting it in a real dedicated facility. So this is basically like, hey, check this out. You saw it at the Olympics. Isn't it fun? Would you be interested in doing this like for real? Let's drum up the interest.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, really good idea. I do wonder though, like, is the Colosseum for Romans kind of like the CN Towers for Torontonians? That like, if you want to meet a Torontonian, don't go to the CN Tower. Like, are they getting everybody other than actual Romans?
Good question. But yeah, you got a story from the New York Times out of it.
Yeah, so a pretty cool story, and yeah, would recommend it if you have the subscription. Which, I mean, if you play the games, maybe you do have a subscription. So there you go, Scott. An update from the world of curling. So thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back over the rest of the summer as we gear up for the start of the season. So if you want to hear those episodes and have us in your feed for the start of the curling season, please do subscribe. Wherever you get your podcast, like, rate, comment, all that good stuff. Help other people find the show. Keeps us growing. Head on over to GameOfThronesPod.com. Past episodes are there, plus a link to the merch. We're on the socials at Game of Stones Pod, Game of Stones Podcast on Facebook. And if you want to let us know what you want to hear on the show, Game of Stones Podcast at gmail.com. So here you go, Scott. It is August. It's the weirdest month, I think.
Yeah, it is weird.
because like no one's, or maybe people still are like excited about something. Like, in July, like right after Canada Day, it's like, yes, it's not like summer. Like
It's summer. There's stuff to do.
yeah, like kids are just out of school. There's like an energy to it. And then August kind of feels stagnant. Like, yeah, it's still the summer, but are we still like super excited about it? The heat starts to wear you down a little bit. I remember as a kid, August was always kind of like, all right, you start to get a little bored. Like, what do we do? And people are on vacation, like off work, but like, it's not like fun off work. Usually it's like, just being around the house, like do some projects. Like, I don't, it's just a strange month.
Yeah. I took a week off and didn't really go anywhere or do anything. I went to the movies. I think we talked about going to see.
You were going to go to the movies. Yeah. What did you see?
We had a very Greek week where we saw Hadestown and then saw the Odyssey.
Oh, did you enjoy the Odyssey?
I really did. Yeah. I thought it was fun. We saw it in that IMAX. Whew, boy, big screen, I'll tell you what.
Nice.
And loud. It was really loud. Yeah. So overall, I'd say good.
Very nice.
Yeah. Hadestown, I really liked it. I wish it had been louder. But watching Andre DeShields, he was really good, man.
Yeah.
Like 80 years old.
Really good.
He was really good.
Yeah. I got to see him live do it.
Yeah. But he would have been 70.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been 80.
No.
70 something.
Yeah.
But damn, I was pretty blown away. Sean, they call it the dog days of summer.
They do.
What? Do you know why?
I do not. Do you?
It's because the dog star Sirius tends to rise in the sky around this time. So that's why, or rise around the same time as the sun.
Okay.
So they're kind of coincident. And so that's why it gets the name the dog days of summer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I enjoy the serenity of August.
Yeah. Okay. Things
I
could
don't
be.
want it to be August forever, but
No.
enjoy it while I can before the rush. I mean, I don't have kids, but like I feel like September comes and like everything starts.
Yeah, it's all at once, all sorts of stuff. So that's why, Sean, we're taking that first full week of September off.
Sure are. So that'll be fun. Yeah, we're taking that one off. There might be a show. We'll see. There's a couple like pre-record things that I want to do. Yeah. A couple of interviews we want to get out that'll correspond with the start of the curling season. We'll see how that goes, though. And but once we get back into the flow of things, we'll have a more regular release schedule here on the feed. So with that, we'll say enjoy your August, everybody. And we'll be back with you very soon with some more talk all about this wonderful sport. So until we chat with you again, keep those brooms on the ice and don't dump that intern.
Make the final.